Hi boardies, welcome to Amass Games. This is a top 12 list of games coming to SPIEL.digital, that's Essen Spiel, the largest board game event in the world. I have been asked by SPIEL.digital to do a list. I'm an accredited press member, and I've previously been a journalist, having attended Spiel in person in 2018, interviewing people at Yellow, some designers. I've met the likes of Michael Kiesling, who designed Azul, Isaac Childress, who designed Gloomhaven, numerous other designers. And over the past few years, numerous publishers, designers, artists and retailers plus gamers have asked me to do YouTube channel. So this is just over 1 year old and it's doing very well. Over 75 publishers are now sending me games, and I look forward to telling you a little bit about Spiel Digital and the games coming up. So in this list you'll see games that are coming soon, maybe even a schedule of the kind of different retailers that are going to be there. This is virtually, of course, and what I think of these games coming out in addition to further things. So, moving on to the retailers. About 450 retailers are listed as going to be there. That's going to be obviously the digital one. And each year, 200,000 people attend Essen. It's on the front page of the newspapers over in Germany. It's the largest event in the world, and you'll see over 1,300 new games released. So, again, this is an updated list, and Spiel have provided me with this list as an accredited member of the press. So, this is just around some of the companies that you could be seeing if you happen to log in and check out some stuff. So, moving on to the first game. This game is a game that's already out, to be honest, but it will definitely be demonstrated, obviously, if it was there. And that is Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. So this isn't in the top 12 just because it's kind of already out, but I'm mentioning it because for those who found Gloomhaven either too heavy, both because it's 10.2 kilograms in weight and the fact that it has 60 plus missions potentially, in addition to just the size and expense of the game, you can buy a much cheaper version with 25 missions to play Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion, and if you like, you do actually get some characters you can use in that other game. So aside from that, I just found it of interest because it is highly rated. It could be because people who like Gloomhaven like this, or it's just a lower barrier of entry. I do like Gloomhaven. I give it 7 out of 10. I do like other dungeon crawlers too. It's not my favourite genre, but in terms of playing this, I will be playing this later this year. And if you check out this, you can see all the other campaign, cooperative, and competitive games that I'm involved with. So moving on to our first position, that's number 12, going down 12 to 1 in the order of increasing my best preferred games to play. We have a game here called Monster Expedition. Now this is a view of the game on Tabletop Simulator. This is a game by Alexander Pfister, and it's an interesting game because I'm a big fan of Alexander Pfister. We have the renowned artist who's done games such as Volterra and Feast for Odin, Gear Project, Terra Mystica, and it's by Amigo, which is of interest because they normally do smaller boxes. So doing a kind of a larger game is kind of curious to see where they're going to take it. But what I found more intriguing is the fact that it's dice rolling, and for a game which is a big Austrian, he's an Austrian guy, designer, and again a guy who I've conversed with multiple times. I found it interesting to see where they're choosing to go with this, considering he does a fantastic game, Port Royal, top 10 game of all time for me. But this seems he's almost following the Wolfgang Warsch style of going for more of a lighter game here. Again, probably the best war game illustrator of all time, and the design of the Legend of Anzor is Michael Menzel. So he's a fantastic illustrator. Again, he's involved in this. So I don't know how soon they get involved in like bidding or knowing how good a designer or gamer is, but this seems really interesting to see what could be apparent. So the next game we have is Whistle Mountain. I mentioned Feast for Odin. Well, there's a mechanism in here which is a little similar to that. One of the co-designers is Manhattan Project Energy Empire, Luke Laurie. Now, I don't rate this one as much as the other games in that Manhattan series, 2 Minutes to Midnight is my favourite. It's much more a Euro thinkier strategic game compared to the original, whereby in a 5-player game, 2 people might not get even any scores. So it's a tile placement game, and there's going to be some flooding going on this mountain, and you're looking to go up and go away from obviously where it's going to be flooding. There's a number of games, as I mentioned, at Feast for Odin, where you're laying out tiles to try and complete stuff to get higher up, to get a better resources. There are other games such as Lowlands and also Copenhagen, it feels like. So Roll 'em Rout's massive, as are these kind of tile placement games. Whether it's any good, I'm not certain, to be honest. It's just of curiosity with these booster packs, seems of interest. And Bezier Games, who've done One Night Ultimate Werewolf, amongst other games. So this is of interest. Could see, we have worker placement in here too. And this reaches my list, as long as I'm aware it has with many others. So the next game I have is a Russian-themed game by De Veer. Not a big fan of the art. It's a couple of illustrators I'm not too familiar with, but it's a game whereby this is a Barcelona-based company, by the way. I've played Holmes and Sherlock and Mycroft, which I have a review on the channel. An excellent 2-player worker placement game. We're trying to get sets and trying to get clues. And this is an area majority game with Mancala. So Mancala mechanisms are found in games such as Five Tribes and a little bit, let's say, in Yokohama. Being a strategic Euro really appeals to me, and yeah, you're looking to build up this column, so this appeals to me, seeing these dice and seeing that you're trying to achieve certain objectives and get some resources. It's kind of under my radar for the most part, but with this kind of rating already, it's early on has something that leads me to want to play it. So the next game is Cloud City. And Phil Walker-Harding, the excellent designer, Australian designer of games such as Sushi Go, he's done Berren Park, another tile-laying game, and last year's Flippin' Phil, or Flippin' Wright's game, Silver and Gold, which I've also got on the channel, which I gave a 7 out of 10 to. Berren Park and Sushi Go are also on Amass Games' channel as well, and you can find that just by searching. And in this one, it's a network and route building game, tile placement. I've played numerous tower building games. There's Torres, Manhattan, Skyliners in chronological order that was, and trying to get these different tiers seems of interest. Again, very similar components to the game Manhattan. It just seems quite interesting to see what's about. But Blue Orange and Phil Walker Harding is, I could say, match made in heaven. I think it's a good thing to look into. It says 30-60 minutes. It's 2 to 4 players, and yeah. I think ages 10 plus makes sense. I don't know if it's fiddly, but seems of interest. So moving on to another game. This is Cloud Age. So I actually had to re-record this video. It's why these are in different locations. But another Alexander Pfister hit here. This is a big box game. It's by Capstone Games, amongst others. And it's going to be his kind of big release. It's by DLP as the publisher. So DLP have created games such as Altiplano. And in this one, you've got numerous things in this kind of post-apocalyptic era game: hand management, grid movement, and again, tech deck pool building. So thinking about Wolfgang Warsch, I don't know if he's this Austrian designer is taking a leaf out of his book. But what is interest is you can do missions, you can do styles, there's scenarios. Yeah, it's interesting. The balls look good. Keen to see how it goes. Again, it's a collaborative project, this one, Cloud Age, but it's been the top #1 game on Board Game Geek in terms of want to play, so it's got a high rating going on. Looking forward to seeing what's going on with this, and a little bit more about Arno. Yeah, so he actually is an award-winning author, although apart from Flip a Bird, I'm not really familiar with this guy's work. So Escape Tales, this is by Board and Dice. I will be getting that later this month. And Children of Wormwoods is their third game after the first two. And the first one I haven't played. The second one was Low Memory, which I gave 8 out of 10. Quite a tough game. You can play it solo. I liked it as a 2. And I'm looking forward to playing this game as a 2 as well. White Goblin Games, I believe, are the Dutch publishers for the game, so that's going to be a different language. It's an English language game. Very good. Escape Tales, The Awakening. It's one I haven't played, which apparently is a slightly higher rating than Low Memory. I think it was slightly tougher, Low Memory. But yeah, very interested to obviously see how this goes. When I initially was sent a game to play, that's a different game, I was initially expecting Trismegistus actually, but based on the rulebook and the complexity, this one is high up my list. So Seastead, this is a two-player game. This is, again, I'm not familiar with Ian Cooper specifically, but this two-player game, the reason why I like the look of it, it looks quite strategic, and most importantly for this WizKids game, it actually has a look of being like Targi. It has a pie rule whereby you're going to have a card and you're choosing to do one of a couple of things, and it's whether or not, or Seastead, and it's choosing, well, I want to do this half of the card and I'm going to give you the other half. So you're looking at your opponent, like in a game like Azul, and saying, if I take this, do I better it for you? What's the zero sum effect? Obviously, there's text on the cards. I don't know if they're going to have to be facing one player because you're going to have to be aware of what the opponent's doing. But Targi is a game I give 8 out of 10 to. It's one of the highest rated, pure two-player games. Lots of people also say Seven Wonders Duel is also highly rated for that. Just before we move on to the next bit, if you are enjoying the content, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I've been uploading board games every day to YouTube for the past 10 months now, and there's no shying away from doing that. I've got a big schedule. There's, like I said, it's for 2 players, and check out the comments. Please put a comment in. Check out the description. I always like to add new stuff. And this is my very first video actually recording with this software. So, as you'll see from the other videos, this isn't how I tend to do it. So this is the guy who I mentioned about the other designer, and this is, again, I haven't heard of him, but Seastead is what he's doing. Obviously highly rated compared to his other couple of games, but just a little bit more about this particular designer. So, moving on, we have Viscounts of the West Kingdom. This is the 3rd game in the trilogy of West Kingdom. He's already done the other trilogy in the Raiders series, and I've played all 5 games prior to this game, and I really actually like. Everyone seems like Raiders of the North Sea. I like the expansions. I played both of them. I really liked my play of, I think it was Shipwrights and Explorers. Explorers in particular, I just like the pick up and deliver in it. And as much as I like West Kingdom, I found that the game can be over in like 20 to 40 minutes. You can just rush the Architect track, and for a game called Architects, that can make sense. But Shem Phillips, Garfield Games, again, it's the same excellent artist, a fantastic kind of auteur feel. You kind of know exactly what you're looking for. What appeals to me is the kind of rondelle mechanism. Rondelle you'll find in games such as Crown of Amara, which I've played numerous times, and this looks very much like Crown of Amara, and you'll find that on the channel. I've got promos for sale. They're also listed on YouTube as well. And as much as I liked Paladins, also with the coins and the expansions, the promos, this this seems to float my boat, and yeah, I look forward to trying this out. It's the same size box as all the others. Sometimes it's tough to get everything in, but yeah, I've never seen a bad game from this designer. He's just done such a good job. Renegade are also going to be partly publishing this game too. So set collection, you've got modular boards, Rondelle as I mentioned, and for those who want a bit more of an explanation of Rondelle, it's basically when you're taking something, you're moving further around that wedge to say, I want to do that more than somebody else. Great examples, Great Western Trail, a stranger kind of example because you're going right round a track which is a footpath, a trail literally. Trajan's a great example. Teotihuacan, yep, he does have it. But yeah, there's some great games out there with Rondelle. Palace of Carrera is a game I really highly rate, and I give that game a 9 out of 10 by Michael Kiesling. I think it was a code sole design on that one. So, on to a game that came out slightly earlier this year, Tekenu. So, these are fantastic designers. We have Daniele Tassini, and he has designed or co-designed Grand Austria Hotel. Massive fan of that game. 8 out of 10 game. Looking forward to trying out the new Kickstarter expansions for that. And my last game of Grand Austria Hotel, I'd really poor dice rolls actually, so that kind of shied away from it for me. David Turgi, I've played numerous games of his, Drakirian and Anachrony, as well as Roman Roll and the solo variant that he did for Sierra West. You can check that out on the channel. I do a solo playthroughs of many of the Sierra West games by Board and Dice. And again, this is the Board and Dice game. This is in the T series, so I've played Sulkin, which is by CGE Games, Czech Games Edition. I give that game a 9 out of 10. That's got a rondel and these cogs. Then I gave Teotihuacan 8 out of 10, which again is really highly rating too. This one being both of them, I really highly rate. I think it's going to be really of interest. And the only reason I've put this ahead of one other game without spoiling it is I probably rate it higher because I like the collaboration and playing both their stuff. But yeah, I'm just very curious to see. But the fact that some people have already got it out and it's already got a great rating, it's something that does appeal to me. So there's going to be this obelisk, this like shading effect, this kind of where does the sun cast, and yeah, looking forward to seeing what happens with these boards. And this game is going to be coming very soon. So I have some dice. The dice do look a bit flat, to be honest, but yeah. Of all the games I get sent, I got received 60 games back in June, and yeah, it's sometimes I get games first. I'm the first person in the world to be literally rating and commenting and marking it as an owned game. Sometimes there's all kinds of schedules. Sometimes they just alternate who receives games. But I'm getting repeat games. So just telling you a little bit more about this designer. Again, he is a multi-award winning designer. Voyages of Marco Polo, fantastic game, 8 out of 10. I mentioned Trismegistus and Teotihuacan. And yeah, Tolkien, I think it's a slam dunk. I'm really looking forward to this game. I think it's going to be really good. So, moving on to the next game, we do have Tawantinsuyu, and this is the Incan Empire. I've mentioned on other videos, I've been to all of the Central American countries. I've been to Tikal, I've been to Copan, I've been to all of these Mayan ruins, the best in the world. Travel is one of my big passions, along with board games and films, and along with 1,500 plus ratings of board games and 100 plus countries. There's over 6,000 films that I've reviewed, so there's an interesting ratio between all of that. But this game is identical in rating, hasn't officially come out yet. It's coming out for Essen, identical complexity rating. Pattern building, though, that's of interest. Area majority, I'm less interested in, but action points and card drafting appeals. It's purely by David Turgi, so playing again similar to Trickerion and Anachrony. Trickerion I did really enjoy. I think that's of interest. I've placed pre-order on any games that basically publishers are sending me, and you'll see that here. You'll see how many games people are sending me. Sometimes that changes a bit, but what's of interest to me is, yep, seeing how this goes. Again, it's a pure game by him. I liked his solo play before, and in Roman Roll, that was a very good solo playthrough as well. In particular, because you don't forget where you're at. So this is actually Peru, interestingly enough, compared to being more about Central America. And yeah, you have god cards like in Roman Roll, so interesting to see if you need to be getting them early on. So that's Tawantinsuyu, and also we have Volterra. So this is a game that I have received. I received 3 more games from Stefan Spiel that actually came this week. This is the first of the 3 games I received, and as you'll see, it looks a lot like Santorini, which was inspired by Torres. So a nice abstract strategy game, I think a bit more purer than Santorini. Some people like the art and stuff in Santorini, but it's a nice, quick, smooth game, lovely pieces, very portable, tiny compared to the game Santorini, so that's really big plus for me. And what I like about it is, yeah, you're trying to move pieces, you can move to neighbouring slots, so these aren't very good illustrations to be honest, but what you're going to be doing is, if you are white, you're going to move from a white square to another white square, and if you're black, you can only move brown, you can only move from this square to here, so you can move adjacent, including diagonals, and then you can move a piece up, which means you can move a piece up first, and then move, and as soon as you can't either move one of your pieces or move yourself, that's 2 things you have to do, as soon as you can't do both of them, then you lose the game. So I don't know who's going next, and ultimately, if you could either lose the game or whoever's highest. So if you happen to go, I don't know, you can pick up to 2 pieces. You could pick up both of these and cover off this, so it's limiting where brown can go, because brown can't go here, although there's a space there. It goes here, and then it can hop, so it could go across to this space. and then brown can move across. So as soon as somebody can't go, i.e. moving a piece and moving or what's called a tower tile, then it means that the game ends and whoever's the highest tower wins. So whoever's got the highest piece will win, and if it's a tie, you look at the next highest tower. Again, tower could be this piece as well. So this is set in Italy because this is where you have these towers. So the reason why I found that I put this so highly up is I have played it, and an 8 out of 10 is a solid rating. Of the 1,500 games I've played, there are around 250, including expansions and promos and stuff, that I have given higher than this. But all I can go is off guaranteed things, and so far this is an 8, and it could well even increase from there, just because it's such a nice, swift, tactile game that it's fast, easily under 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes including setup and pack down, and I know abstract strategy on my playlist is really highly watched, and lots of people might have their favourite theme in games, and you'll be surprised how many actually have like abstract as their second favourite, or how many play abstract games and realise, no, actually I enjoyed that. So that is the Stefan Spiel game Volterra, and I'll be bringing a preview which is scheduled to be uploaded. I tend to be limiting myself to one video a day at the moment, and also I'll be doing a how to set up, play and review, plus other games coming out this year from Stefan Spiel. So there's a couple other games that I have in the works, but yeah, Stefan Spiel is just an independent company. There are some companies that aren't going to be there, partially because it's yeah, it's digital, and I'm thinking they're just not certain actually how essential it is for them to be there. This includes Palavan, which I own, and also Reddit low battery thing. So we also have Rapunzel, and we've got this Palavan one, which is of interest. And yeah, looking forward to seeing how that goes. For some reason, even though I'm an owner, it was up late to update. So a couple of the games we have, which I haven't made a note of yet, was Monasterium. So if I just put that in now, what I liked about this one was it related to obviously monasteries, which isn't a major theme for me, but it is quite popular in dealing with games. Again, it's a very prolific designer artist. This is the third game now on this list. But what seems of interest is just that it's an innovative dice game. It's strategic, and Village. It looks just like Village to me, so that's a big appeal to me. Aside from that, the only other game would be Star Wars Unlock. So I've played all the Unlock so far. That's every single game that's ever come out, aside from the demo ones. And there is a demo one, Fifth Avenue, that I do have, which I haven't played yet. But this particular one is of interest. I've heard the theme is really strong in this and very effective. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what you need to do to kind of escape, unlock it, and get a decent score. So, lastly, you can't avoid this, but it's amazing how little I hear about it. I don't know why the rating's only 7. That's really interesting. But this is what I predicted back in February. It'll be called Season Zero. Thankfully, during this pandemic crisis, it's not a disease themed, but it is set in the Cold War, 1960s, and you're going to have these agents. You're going to go to various locations and try and play things out. I've heard it's really good. I'm actually going to be playing this in multiple groups. I've played Pandemic Legacy Season 2 in multiple groups, and I really look forward to trying this one out as I'm actually going to try this one out in an order being 0, 1 and 2, in addition to playing 1, 2 and then 0. So playing them in order in that kind of canon seems quite apt. Obviously in Season 2 I kind of know the ending to a degree. I can't recall fully the story, but yeah, this seems really of interest because again, such big hits, those other two games. It could well appear on the top 100 board game list. I think Legacy Season 2 is about 35. Season 1 is on yeah, I think second after Gloomhaven. But it's interesting, it says re-implements Pandemic Legacy Season 2, not Season 1. So I'm keen to see if it's as adaptive as I hoped it would be as Season 1. I'm just going to check out some of these comments just to see what it is that people have chosen to rate it badly with. It's just strange why people would be giving it such a strange rating. This seems weird. This is obviously full of nonsense people. So yeah, these people haven't a clue what they're saying. They obviously haven't played it. So I don't know why they should ban people from voting on games they haven't played yet. So that is Pandemic Legacy Season 0. This is just a schedule on some other games that I'm going to be reviewing. So I've talked about Palavan already and Retit Rapunzel. Geyser, these are games from GDM Games, and they are also going to be at Spiel this year. There are a number of games that I'm going to be demonstrating. Sherlock, Coldest Nights, and Aegisia, as well as Aeon's End Legacy. These are games from Indie Board and Cards, also Stronghold, the same company now. And I have various things, day of the week, days of the months that I play, and that's every day, but days that I tend to release stuff. Some unboxings, some more films to do. These are basically previews, but it's a very interesting way of just understanding what's going on before I do a review. Didn't used to think about doing unboxings, but lots of people like to see what's coming soon. Numerous reviews in addition to everything else that's being unboxed, such as here. Another Undo game is coming soon. That's Undo 600 Seconds. We have a list, so 600 Seconds would definitely be up on my list too. And that is coming this or next month. Games coming, there's some other games on this list as well, as I mentioned, and here are some of the publishers. And there are numerous games I'm doing solo playthroughs as well. So there it is. We have the website here. So this is amassgames.simplesite.com, and it's just a place whereby you can just congregate and chat. But this is the channel, so this is where you can see all the different videos. You can see that, again, 95% don't subscribe, but please do, and you can catch everything first, all kinds of promos and giveaways. Lots of things going on here. As you can see, within a day, I'm uploading at least a video, and numerous playlists. So this is very popular. People like to actually go under things, the two-player one, the abstract one, the family weight stuff, flip and fill. I mean, that's a good sizable amount now, and some playthroughs are popular. Clemens Franz is a great artist. He's not in any of the games I've talked about today. That's something else to do with the Boring Company, which is a whole other matter. And finally, yes, if you want to be in contact, as you can see, it's a new channel. Decent amount of views proportional to everybody else who has a channel of that age. So it's a very new channel, but that is about 5 times more than any other board game channel of that era. So thanks very much for watching. I look forward to speaking to you again very soon. Any questions, please put them in the comments, and look forward to you checking out the descriptions, and bye for now.